roots in me. And it just bothers him. So I may as well do this rest of this entire segment in Spanish to bother him. But I won't. Panama found a way against the odds to score and make it 1-0. Man disadvantage, goal advantage. And then, of course, in stoppage time, to what, according to Twitter, has been a really terrible game that should have ended right then and there, didn't, because in the final minute of play, Mexico was awarded a penalty, and Andres Guardado put it away.
Can we talk about what minute of play it was? It was the 90th plus 10.
Yes.
Because the clock just kept ticking for the penalty. That is, and I know technically it's earlier, that is the latest I have ever seen a stoppage time goal. I have never seen that happen. I know technically it was a lot earlier they got the penalty. But 90th plus 10 is kind of crazy.
And so now we are in the middle of Tiempo Extra. Good. No, it looks a lot less agitated when I spoke Spanish. I'm proud of him for that. And it is still 1-1.
I'm just happy because I'm about to grill the U.S.
Mexico will find a way to win on penalties.
Don't do it! Don't do it! I want to see Panama, Jamaica. Speaking of which, Jamaica.
Oh my god.
In a absolutely crazy game, has defeated the U.S. and for the first time in 5 times, the U.S. will not be in the final of the Gold Cup. 5 times in a row, and they don't make it. Suddenly, Jamaica's got a shot. Jamaica's got Jake has entered and exited the room multiple times. Yeah, this is a big disappointment, and I will be grilling the U.S. in a minute. Darren Maddox in the 31st, Giles Barnes in the 36th, Michael Bradley in the 48th. As much as I love Brad Guzan, he did screw up a couple times. Jake, I want to let you speak before I go into my grill. Just absolutely grilling the USA national team. What are your thoughts on this game, which has to be a massive disappointment for any USA soccer fan? Silence, yeah, that's a great description.
I support our women's national team, which is, from here on out, the only legitimate international soccer team the United States puts on it.
Wow. Wow. Jay, you can't leave right now. I'm about to grill. It's going to be funny, and it's going to be good. What do you say?
Go.
All right. Let's start with this. I am a Colombia soccer fan. But as somebody who lives in the U.S., I am thoroughly disappointed in the performance that the national team of the U.S. put on, because they do represent the country I live in, and it was embarrassing. Frankly, the U.S. should be ashamed to show their face anywhere in the U.S. Honestly, I'd rather put the Chicago Fire out there. The way that the U.S. has played, besides the Cuba game in this Gold Cup, is absolutely embarrassing. As a team that beat Germany and Netherlands, by the way, everybody got hype about that. Calm down. I've been saying it all along. It didn't matter that much. It's embarrassing to see the U.S. play like this. And to Jurgen Klinsmann, I say this. Boy, you better be careful. The seat is getting mighty hot. The seat is getting mighty hot. And when you lose and don't even make it to the final, that's unacceptable, frankly. Brad Guzan played well, basically, this whole Gold Cup. He made a mistake, and it's going to haunt him. Also, end of the game. U.S. had 4 back. Losing 3-1 and losing 2-1, there is no difference. You still lost the game. It's a goal to fine. You won't care. Nobody cares. Get rid of the 4 back. Yedlin should be all the way up the field. Fabian Johnson should be all the way up in the field. God, it's fine if you leave 1 back. You have to get that goal. And frankly, there was no creativity. Nobody was getting on the end of the crosses. And all around, it's an embarrassment. It's poor tactical play. It's a poor display from a team that made it into the round of 16 out of the group of death, supposedly, in the World Cup. And now they can't even beat Jamaica? We are talking about Jamaica here. And the U.S. can beat Ghana. If they can draw with Portugal, if they can beat Germany in a friendly, they should be able to beat Jamaica. And they didn't. And I think the U.S. has to think hard and long, because clearly, I mean, Klinsmann said that Altidore was low on fitness. Clearly, all these players are lacking something. And I'm not quite sure what it is, but this team lacks fizzle, it lacks pizzazz, and it lacks what is necessary to become a dominant football nation. It is time to go back to the drawing board. It is time to look at what you did wrong. It is time for these players to get their priorities straight. And hopefully they come back with a stronger game with more cohesiveness. And hopefully they pick up the wins necessary to get themselves back on the right track. Because God knows Klinsmann needs it. Otherwise, he could find himself coaching somewhere else.
The Chicago Fire really...
I mean, they're one of the... Actually, they're not the worst team. New York City FC is technically, I think, the worst right now.
Yeah, I know. That's the point. Like Sounders, Dallas. Really, though?
I mean, let's be honest here, though. The way the U.S. played, a lot of teams could have done that. A lot of teams could have done... The U.S. put on one of the most disappointing performances I've seen. I've got to say that this team, overall, was awful. Especially at scoring. It was awful. And I want to say one more thing. To Bleacher Report, to ESPN, to anybody who continues to hype players from the U.S., stop it. Because every time you do, it curses them. It's like the little B curse, but even more effective. It's actually 100% effective.
You shut your mouth. There is no curse more effective than the little B curse, and you will die in your sleep tonight because of
the
this.
LeBron MVP curse. Every MVP now, Durant and Rose both have gotten injured and basically missed the next year. The Madden curse is also stronger. I think that Lil B has a claim to it, but that is only in response to disrespect. This is just in response to a lot of respect. Like, you say, Giannis Artis, hype, they lose. Freddie Adu, hype. I don't think I need to mention him. And Julian Green, Julian Green is a star. He's been doing real well. I mean, real well. Really cemented his spot, not Bayern Munich. This guy, honestly, his impact on the U.S. has been less than Giannis Artis, a guy who plays for the LA Galaxy.
The LA Galaxy are a hell of a lot better than the Chicago Fire.
Not once we get Drogba.
Oh, yeah, because you're going to get Drogba. Why? Well, we'll take Ronaldo.
You realize that Drogba's going to the MLS, and he said the Fire were his frontrunner. Ha-ha!
Ronaldo's frontrunner.
Ronaldo's not coming for another 5 years, bro. He won't come after his contract expires.
And then we'll win for 25 more.
Right. Alright, well, I've given my scathing rant about how disappointing it is. Honestly, I didn't know how to react. I almost laughed, and then I almost cried. What do you say to this? Jake, what did you say to this?
I think you should just stick to rooting for Colombia, because I don't know if your heart can handle being a USMNT fan.
Losing in the quarterfinals 2-1 to Brazil after the most hack. It's just hack everybody. It got really out of hand. Knees in the back. When we score a goal to tie it 1-1 and they... Oh, offsides that World Cup. I don't want to get started on that again. When we score a goal to tie and then it doesn't get counted, it can get pretty intense. My heart... Also, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid. If my heart can't... I think my heart probably couldn't have handled that. Let's be fair here.
But you knew they would win. They always win.
They always win. They hadn't won since...
against...
Juventus? I mean, they hadn't won for a really long time. Sure, let's be fair, though, the Real Madrid is one of the better teams. Alright, let's move on. We've basically wrapped up the show, but I wanna let Jake, because he's going live in a little bit for the Spurs show, I want to let him talk about the Spurs show and what you can expect from that. Jake, take it away.
It's going to be a show. We're going to talk about Tottenham Hotspur.
Woo! That sounds scintillating.
Seriously, we also have a new member of ISN joining us and making his debut. His name is Anthony DeVundo. He is from Philadelphia, and he is very jealous of LA weather. But then again, who is it?
He's also a Spurs fan. Let's remind everybody again.
Yes, I mean...
It's important to know who's a Spurs fan and who's everybody else.
Everybody. There are Spurs fans.
Feeder league, bro. Feeders.
Blackpool fans.
It's basically like the feeder team of big clubs. Except for Jurgen Klinsmann. Jurgen Klinsmann liked it there. Surprises.
Southampton?
But Southampton's cool.
It's the Southampton way, lad.
Southampton's cool, though.
Ron Koeman.
I like Southampton.
The fact that
I respect Tottenham as a feeder team. You produce great players. Occasionally.
Can we talk about the fact that Tottenham announced that they're building a new stadium? And
it made me cry a little bit.
Its capacity is going to be... Are you ready?
I am ready. I know the capacity, but yeah.
I hope you're ready, because you're going to find out in 34 minutes at 9 p.m. But I will give you a hint. The Emirates Stadium's capacity is 60,432. Tottenham's was originally 56,250. That's been changed. What it was changed to, you will find out.
Why do you tell us the Emirates one? Stop being a tease. Jake is a tease. It's like the Spurs. By the way, I've and I talked to Jake about this. I'm calling them the Spurs now because I'm trying to crack Jake. I want to see how long it takes Spurs fans to crack.
Literally, I'm going to just speak Spanish.
All right,
I'm going to speak Spanish, and you will crack before.
Catch this after the Spurs show on Infinity Sports and National Sports Radio. We will simulcast the battle where Jake will only speak Spanish, and I will only call them the Spurs.
Oh, that's not fair.
It'll be great. It'll be great.
Is there an AP class?
I'll be like Conor McGregor, and you can be like Jose Aldo. McGregor. All right, we're getting a little bit off track, so we'll wrap it up there. Jake, any closing words? I know we did social media at the beginning, but it never hurts to repeat again. Go ahead.
I think you should all listen to this show because it really does mean a lot to us. I personally have missed Sharknado 3.
Oh, God. Now I feel even worse about making this show at this time. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I apologize that you had to miss Sharknado.
No. It's okay. I understand. Some things are more important than shark tornadoes.
And not only shark tornadoes.
Which I also missed.
You know who played Prez, right? Who played the president? Mark Cuban.
I'm so done with this movie. I never even started it. I never even watched the original one. But this is an absolute joke.
Alright. Jake, did you give him Twitter info?
For a Tottenham show. Dude, this is brand new.
I was talking about just for you, but... Alright, so we'll skip Jake then.
My name is Jake Liker, so you can follow me on Twitter at Jake Liker. You can add me on Snap. I mean, really, all my social media stuff's my name. Like, I don't really do pseudonyms.
Mm-hmm. Well, now that I've filled up time to push this towards the hour mark, let me race through the social media information. First of all, follow me on Twitter at Noah Taborda. You can go like Kickin It on Twitter, and I believe on Twitter. I don't know if we're on Twitter, actually.
You can follow it on Twitter, and you can like it on Facebook.
Like it on Facebook. Like National Sports Radio, like Infinity Sports Network on Facebook. You can follow them on Twitter as well. Follow us both on Spreaker. When you're on there, be sure to go and listen to every show you possibly can, because they are all terrific content, without a doubt. Be sure to go like everybody else's. Thank you for tuning in. Simulcasting on both National Sports Radio and Infinity Sports Network on Spreaker.com. For Jake Liker, I'm Noah Taborda. This has been Kickin' It. Thank you for tuning in, and we hope you enjoyed.